What's up, everyone? Welcome to Inside Out. If this is your first time joining us, this is a show where we get to hear from the fighters and prospective fighters of Fight Underground. I'm Brandon K, and I'm not alone today. Joining me again, returning this week, looking fly, JB Destiny. How you doing, JB?
I'm very happy to be here. Always a thrill. This is the show to watch. That is the truth, and I'm not going to lie. Good luck. We're going to knock him dead tonight.
All right. Also joining us, he's been here since the beginning. He's one cool cat. Sometimes the grumpy cat, Justin Nido. What's up, brother?
I don't know why you keep having me back. I've got my mind so focused on the upcoming fight this week, and I'll just take it back, BK.
I can't resist you, Justin. I'm going to ask you every week. Every week I'm going to ask you because I love you, even though you shit on me all week. Join us again, also representing the women, Stacy Hunter. How you doing, Stacy?
Hi, Brandon. Hi, guys. How are you?
Welcome back. Guys, I got a treat for us. It's the first time he's been on the show. He's one of the newest council members. Sniper, how are you doing, buddy? God, that's good to see you.
Good, Brandon. How are you?
Good, man. Welcome to Inside Out. If you guys watch and haven't yet, go to our social media. Join us at FU Throwdown. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. But on TikTok, we are at Fight_Underground. Check out all these for all your FU news. Guys, let's get into it. We've been seeing a lot of stuff online this week, a lot of fights, and today we got joining us again for the Alpha King division. We got BROhemoth, and I got a lot of questions. So, bro, welcome to the show. How are you today, bud?
Hey, what up, Brandon? Thanks for having me.
Nice seeing you, man. So a lot's been going on. You come in on paper as probably the favorite in Fight Underground, right? But now we got 3 winners, and Reverend Hunt, Arthur MacArthur, and somebody else. Lost Prevention, who came out killing it. Now you ain't such on top, bro. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about all this?
I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. I'm running through everything. I'm coming for the number one spot. They can have it for now, but when I step in that ring, it's my time to be at the top.
I believe in Bro. I'm going to tell you right now. I can't wait to see you fight. I want to know. Do you know when we're going to see you fight? Are we still just? I'm waiting. Is it? When's it going to happen? When are we stepping up to see this?
And I've already told them I'm tired of waiting. Sooner or later, I'm going to get my fight, and everybody is going to be put on notice.
I love it. Let me throw it to the council. You guys let's have a word. JB, have a word with my man BROhemoth here.
BROhemoth was impressive out of the gate, out of the footage that I saw. Some guys kind of kick beyond their coverage, and that's what impressed me about Arthur MacArthur. I thought that he won a match that he did not need to win, or that I would have predicted that he won. The other guy is loss prevention. I was wrong about this guy. He's better than I thought he was, and he won a match that he should have won. So Arthur MacArthur, loss prevention are sitting as contenders. But when it comes to AJ Alexander and the Rev Ron Hunt, I think those guys could battle it out for the top. So BROhemoth's large man, big monster. Which one of these competitors that have already shown that they could win could take on him? I don't know. I'd go with the Rev Ron Hunt.
Ooh, what do you think, bro? What about the Rev?
If it's Rev, if it's AJ, if it's Flex, Tad, loss prevention. Different opponent, same result. MMD 1-2-3.
I'm going to be a devil's advocate, bro. It's easy to have intensity right now.
Yeah.
And looking at loss prevention, he come out and he backed up everything he said. He quickly dismantled. Who was it? Was it Tad Jarvis? I don't know, the rookie. He just killed him. What are you going to do? And it's easy for a guy your size to roll over us little dudes, but what about a guy like loss prevention who's coming out there and just like destroying people? Like 2 minutes, I think it was.
There's a difference between me and loss prevention. I can hit the MMD on anybody. He's not hitting me with lights out.
That's a fair point. I guess we'll see. Bro, okay, now you're seeing the competition. I asked you this before. I know your answer is probably going to vary every week. Pick me someone. Who do you want to come out with and make an example of? Just like loss prevention, you came out and made an example. Give me someone. Go big too, bro. Don't go small. Go big. 'Cause you got it in you.
Hell, loss prevention want to talk business. Let's talk business.
Yeah.
I'll fight anyone. Doesn't matter.
That's the match I want to see. What do you guys think?
I agree with that.
Okay, hey, council member, let's pick a winner right here with Bro sitting here listening to us. Let's pick a winner. Loss prevention, BROhemoth. What do we got? Who do you have in this fight? JB, let's start with you, bud.
I'm going with BROhemoth. 10 times out of 10. I like loss prevention. He actually reminds me of somebody who once started as security for a superior talent, a guy named Quinn Magum, who was security for Mad Mike and Crusher. And then he ended up winning the heavyweight title. The thing is, loss prevention is security for OSHA, and he's getting there, but he's still green. I think right now, 101, BROhemoth wins this walking away.
How about you, Justin?
What?
Who's winning? BROhemoth?
Arthur MacArthur. Oh, wait.
I agree.
What? I mean, come on. All I'm hearing, all I'm hearing from BROhemoth is yappity yap yap, yappity yap yap. I haven't seen anything you could do. You could say and talk all the smack that you want, but who would win? AJ Alexander, Arthur MacArthur, loss prevention. Anyone that has already competed in Fight Underground would win, because I don't know what BROhemoth can do. Everyone except the Rev. Everyone except the Rev could destroy BROhemoth as of right now. I don't know what he could do. So maybe he could win. Who knows? I can't give a serious, truthful answer until I've seen him fight. I, unlike you guys, can't predict the future. So, yeah, back to you.
It's actually a fair point. He's a good
he would win. He would win. Stupid. We can hypothetically talk about who would win all we want. And you know what? I'm sorry. I'm just a little stressed today.
I can see that, man. You need one of those stress balls or something. Thanks for covering up that wall this week, though. Hey, Stacy, what do you think?
I think BROhemoth versus LP would be a phenomenal match. And I think Bro's right. I don't know if Loss Prevention would be able to get him up for lights out. I'd have to go with BROhemoth on this one.
Sniper, what do you think, bub?
I've seen BROhemoth work. Loss Prevention has this tall size-wise, but I think he's still green. So I definitely have to go with BROhemoth because I don't think he can get him up for his finishing move.
I'm going to go ahead and have to agree with our stressed out little friend here, Justin Idol. We haven't seen you, bro. I haven't seen you in the fight yet. I've seen you in the past, but Loss Prevention come out and he backed it up, and it's hard to pick someone against him right now because he came out and totally dominated. I might have to go Loss Prevention, bro. You might have to prove us wrong. I don't know.
I step in the ring with Tad. It's over in 30 seconds.
I don't doubt that, actually. I don't doubt that. What do you think, JV?
I think that Loss Prevention acquitted himself very well because you should beat the people that you should beat. And that's what he did. He's a big guy, little green. I agree with Stacy. I agree with Sniper. But he should have won that match, and he won it convincingly. But that doesn't mean that he's ready for somebody like BROhemoth. Now, he's proved me wrong before. I've been wrong about this guy. He might prove me wrong again. But right now, if I had money on the ground, BROhemoth, period.
All right, fair points all around. I guess we'll have to see if that match ever does happen. We got to see 3 fights so far. Well, 3 Alpha King fights. My pick out right now, I'm going to tell you my pick. It's not BROhemoth. No offense, bro. It's not even Loss Prevention. It's Arthur MacArthur. He come out and impressed the hell out of me. What did you guys think of Arthur MacArthur? Because I love this guy. I freaking love him.
One finger with a bear on his back.
Oh my God.
One finger, 50 pounds with a bear.
He's a monster. He's a monster. What'd you guys think of Arthur MacArthur's debut? Go ahead, JB.
I was really impressed with his debut. Sorry, you guys.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Stacey. Go ahead.
I really was impressed with him. The match was a great match. It's very hard to pick a number one right now because all 3 guys were really, really good. So it's like my rankings are all very, very close together.
JB?
Yes, I think that our first showdown was the Rev and AJ Alexander. Those guys fight each other 10 times. They each win 5 matches. I think they're both dynamite, but I also think they might cancel each other out. The one thing about Arthur MacArthur is that you see him going to the ring. It's like, there's no way in hell this guy's going to win the match, and he wins the match. He's a latter-day honky-tonk man. He could be Intercontinental Champion for a year and a half. I like Arthur MacArthur. I like him a lot.
Sniper, did you get to see Arthur MacArthur yet?
Yes, I did. He impressed me very much. I'd like to see him against a Rev, or that would be a heck of a match right there. So, yes, he did impress me. Yeah. He could be number 1 right now. Like you said, there's 3 winners, but it could be anybody's top game right now.
I feel like Arthur came out and beat Flex is a really good fighter, and I feel like he's the one to come out and really show that he beat like the hardest competition. AJ's very young. I expected Rev to win in that match, and Lance, of course, we expected him to win. But Arthur and Flex was up in the air because I didn't know each guy very well. I just felt like he came out and just nailed it. He came out and beat a really good fighter right off the bat. So I'm excited. Old and savvy. He just waited for a mistake and boom, done. Over.
Hey, MacArthur is right now sitting in the correct column. Winners 1-0 versus 0-1. He's sitting in the right column. He's positioned himself well.
Yeah. BROhemoth, well, I'd like to get your opinion on Arthur MacArthur. What do you think of him? I don't know if this is the first time you've seen him fight, but any worries there for you?
That was my first encounter of seeing Arthur MacArthur. Flex is a hell of an opponent, but honestly, when it came to that competition, I think Flex got a little ahead of himself and left himself too open. He slept on somebody he never met before and got ran over.
Correct.
If I'm worried about him, he'll give me a fight, but he ain't beating me.
Also correct.
All right, bro. I want to thank you for joining us. You got any last words for the council or for your fans or for anyone right now or the fighters that you're going to be facing before we go?
Get ready.
Get ready. You are my pick, bro. I was giving you kind of a hard time, trying to light a little fire under your ass. I know you're going to come out on top. Thanks for joining us this week, bud. We'll see you soon, hopefully in the ring sooner than later. And right now, let's throw it to our video guy with another segment. We got another reveal coming up right now. All right, we're back in Big Coin Boys. I don't know these guys. Does anybody know Big Coin Boys? Because that's a new one for me here.
No, I don't know.
Not yet.
I do like seeing new tag teams because I still ain't no one going to beat Warhorse on me. So maybe these guys, I doubt it. We'll see, though. Throwing it to you, one cool cat, Justin Idol. It's your time to shine. What do you got for us today? You're muted. That's what you got for us.
Media guy keeps messing with me. I'm sick of it. Every week he does this. During my amazing intro. Okay. Where was I? Oh, you didn't hear me. Never mind. Okay. Are all my guests even online? I don't even know. We've had so much audio and media problems. But here we go again. Put the children to bed. Put the dog outside. Grab a glass of wine. It's a young lion's time. And with me today, supposed to be with me today, we'll start with the millennial, Tad Jarvis. Welcome back, dude.
Thanks. I'm here. Got you.
All right, cool. Go, all right. Yeah, it sounds like it. You sound so excited. Okay, and next on the list is a debuting member of the very young roster, Vance Strayder. What's up, Vance? Are you on mine? All right. Have a little audio technical difficulties there. And our third guest is supposed to be the great Alexander. Is he here with us?
He is not with us right now.
I don't think so. We're told he was having some media problems, so that's okay. Let's jump to Tad Jarvis. Tad, how you been, bud? Good. What's been going on since the last couple of weeks? I've talked to you.
Just, pure disappointment, and I feel like the council hasn't given me enough credit that I deserve.
You've been taking this back for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Whose segment is this? Get out of here, BK.
Jumped in. I gotta know my role, Justin. I apologize.
My gosh. Well, tell us a little bit about what's bothering you there, Tad.
Okay, here's the thing. Ever since the council, I've watched them. They've made fun of me. For the 60-second match that happened against loss prevention. Okay, well, here's the thing. If I'm aware, wasn't it Paul that issued it? I didn't see nobody else jump for that. I did. I took the opportunity. So where's my credit? Where's my credit for stepping up?
Hey, I give you all the credit in the world. I was there, and I was hooting and hollering for you. You probably couldn't hear it because you were unconscious in the middle of the ring. I'm sorry, but it is the truth. Regardless if you can hear me or not, it is the truth.
Just and recently, I don't know if you've been checking my Facebook or anything, but Bubba's been running his mouth, and I am the millennial. Okay, for example, Bubba. Okay, he was a past great, but I am greater than that today. I don't know if you know, but I mean, you're getting up there, Justin. You're up there in age. But if you would be where I'm at now with this technology that the fight council is complaining about, I'm already way ahead of what they've been in their whole entire careers. So,
When you say they, who are you talking about?
The whole fight council.
Okay. All right. I see. Okay. All right. Well, I am like a fine wine. I just do get better with age. So I'll take that insult slash, compliment. Thank you. All right. Vance, are you still with us? All right. Brandon. Can you hear Vance?
I cannot hear Vance. No.
Can't hear you, Vance, buddy. I can see your big mug. But that's about it. Do you know sign language?
He's got a beautiful smile. That's all we got.
I guess not. Back to Tad.
And let's make the show all about me.
If you had to compare your likeness to one person, who would it be?
Myself. I don't compare myself to anybody else. I am my own person.
And why is that?
Because I am, like I said, I've been telling you guys, I'm millennial. I far advanced myself than anybody else to even consider myself to be like somebody. I have all this technology. I can watch all the film that I want that the fight council claims that I don't do. So, nobody. I am Tad Jarvis, the I'm millennial.
BK?
Yeah, good. Tad, I was just wondering, the only thing, I know you because I've helped train you. Oh, I did train you. The only thing, people that don't know you know that you lost within 60 seconds, and you're out here saying that you're not getting the credit you deserve. Where in the world do you think people should give you this credit? Like, where did you earn any credit? Getting up and fighting someone's one thing. Losing in 60 seconds to a rookie is another. I expected more from you because I know you're a better fighter than what you showed us. So you tell me why we're giving you credit right now until you earn it.
All right, Coach, with all due respect, like I said, nobody inside that whole underground, not one person stood up when Paul said, I need a fighter. I gave the opportunity, I stood up, and I took the chance. How did I know he was going to choose loss prevention? I had a fair shot as anybody else. But Paul had to pick the bigger guy, just saying.
You're going to have to learn to overcome giants. There's a lot of big guys in Fight Underground. I mean, you know the techniques to do it. You just got to employ them when it matters. That's all I'm saying.
This brings up a curious question of mine. Tad, growing up, who did you mentor? Did you have any mentors or anyone you idolized? Any mentors, though, that, helped shape the person that you are today?
Honestly, yeah. There's actually 3, I should say. The biggest one, Shawn Michaels. I'm not talking about the 90s Shawn Michaels. I'm talking about the young, intercontinental Shawn Michaels. Loved Shawn Michaels.
All right. Not bad. JB, do you have something to say?
Yes, I do. To Ted Jarvis. Okay, man. All right. I'm asking Ted Jarvis right now to look at me. Eye contact. Do not ask to be in the main event. Put yourself in the main event. Do not hope and that everybody will do crap for you. Do it yourself. You're a smaller guy. You're sub 200 pounds. And I've kind of walked that road a little bit. You have potential to be bigger and better than you are. Don't worry about this last match. It's a race. Don't worry about it. You're a good guy. And you're a good worker. You have hell of a gimmick as well. Good luck to you. But at the same time, do not ask for anything.
Well, thank you. At least somebody gives me the credit that I think that I've been wanting. Thank you.
Me and BK aren't giving you credit. We're just making astute observations, things that we believe could help you in the future. Okay, enough with Tad. Vance, are you with us? Say something, Vance. Say anything. I can hear him. Can you hear him, BK?
Go ahead. Talk,
Can you hear
Vance.
me now?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
All right.
There we go.
Cool. All right. For everyone who doesn't know, this young man that has media problems is Vance Strayder. He just now bought a phone, but it's not quite at the level of Verizon or AT&T. He went with Cricket, and this is what happens. Vance, tell us a little bit about your past.
A little bit about my past. I started at the Wild Civilian Training Center back in 2008. Had a tryout with Pops, Office Senior. His son Sam started to train me. Had transportation problems making it back and forth there, kids and other stuff. Came down here to Fight Society. Quinn started to train me as well, and now I'm looking for a spot into the Fight Underground. But according to Paul Atlas, from an embarrassment match, I will never be in Fight Underground.
Boo. Boo.
Go ahead, JB.
That just because you perceived it that way doesn't mean that it is true. Hell yeah. The only way that you prove your competitiveness is being allowed to compete. That's going to happen. Whether, I upset the fight director or whatever, make no mistake. I want to see you compete, period. I want you to have a clean slate against anybody here, and I think you might be, the roll of the dice that's going to upset this top 10.
I'm going to do more to upset. Trust and believe. I'm going to way do more to upset.
I expect no less, my friend. I expect no less.
All right, Vance, I want you to finish the sentence for me. Vance Strayder is the next
destroyer.
Oh, explain.
See, the reason why, because everybody look at Bro because Bro's a big guy, which Bro is. He's bigger than me. I'm only 5'10" and a half. Okay? So no one's looking at me to come in here and do anything. They're looking at me to maybe have a couple good matches and maybe get beat by all the top guys. No, I'm destroying everything in my path. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're on a fight council. If you still want to wrestle, that's fine. But I'm destroying everything in my path. Call me the destroyer. Bro could be the big monster. That's fine because that's what he is. But call me the destroyer.
Hey, Justin, call Vance Strayder the first Fight Underground champion.
Thank you very much.
I cannot do that, JB. I'm under contract. I'm not allowed.
Okay.
All right. Don't laugh at my jokes. Don't laugh at my jokes. Okay, here we go. Vance, I'm thinking of something to ask you. It's coming to me. There it is. Who in your lifetime, it could be in wrestling, it could be a teacher when you were a little Vance in school, who was your mentor growing up?
Who was my mentor growing up? I mean, even though I never met the person, it was The Undertaker. That's who I idolized. That's why I got into this business. It was him.
All right. And how, by idol, well, I mean, this question's fairly obvious, but I'd like to hear your words. How is that going to help you in your wrestling career?
I'm going to use some of his mannerisms in the ring and use some of his style, mix it with mine, and the rest is history. I mean, from the time the man walks out from the curtain and goes back, he captures the audience. They're all inspired by him. I'm gonna do the same exact thing, just better.
All right. One more question until we go to the next step here. Word association. Give me one word response, okay? Tad Jarvis.
Potential.
Oh, isn't that nice? Tad, what's your response? Okay, we don't have time for your response. Let's go back over to Vance. Vance, I like to do something here, and it's basically like a hypothetical match. Okay? Let's say Vance Strayder versus the iMillennial. And just like any good match, any good feud, before the match starts, each opponent, each competitor has some negative and angry things to say about the other one. What I want you to do is I want you to cut a promo on Tad Jarvis for 30 seconds. Are you ready? Go.
Tad Jarvis, potential wrestler, got a bright future, but the future's going to end when he steps in the ring with me. Because, sorry, Tad, I have to destroy you. That's my job for me to make it to the top. No disrespect to you or your fans. Just another
Come on, Vance. Don't be nice. This is like a promo.
You're right.
Tad Jarvis, what's your response?
Well, let me start off with this, the Destroyer. Listen, I've already been destroyed in 60 seconds. I have so much more to prove. Okay? And I will not let myself get crushed again. Better yet, I've been already...
Todd, are you there? Todd, are you there?
I am
Todd?
here. Yeah.
Todd, can anyone hear Todd?
Yeah.
Todd?
You know what?
Todd, all right, BK, back to you, buddy. That was the Young Lions session. We'll see you next time.
Unbelievable.
All right. Hey, before you guys go, real quick, Vance, be mean. Yeah. Be on fire. Don't be nice. It's not the business to be nice in. That's my advice to you. Tad, get back in the gym. Get back to work. Overcome your 60-second loss and prove everybody wrong, because you can do it. Don't get to talk. Quiet. Just do as the coach tells you. All right, we're going to go through. We have a very special segment to end the show with tonight, and I'm going to throw it over to Stacy Hunter. Stacy, still with us?
Yep, I'm still here.
All right, the show is yours.
So recently there has been a movement on social media about speaking out. The women of wrestling have been telling stories of things that have been going on in the locker room, experiences they have had with other workers. We have been highlighting sexual abuse. We have been highlighting mental abuse. And we've also been highlighting physical abuse as well. For myself, I was in an abusive relationship with another worker for many years. It screwed me up royally. It took me many, many years to work it out in my head and get to be a better person because of it. And I am joined by 7 other women, members of the Underground Virago Division, members of our Fight Underground Council office, and even one of our women from Ohio. We all have a story to tell, and I'm going to first throw it over to Honeybadger because she has been one of the most vocal on social media lately. Or maybe not. We lost Badger, kind of. Right?
Oh, wait. Does it work now?
There we go.
There we go. Sorry, Win. We need to pay our internet bill. Fight Underground. Something's going on there.
We got to upgrade from Cricket.
We do. We need to upgrade our internet speeds apparently.
Stop stealing my jokes, Stacey. I'm still here listening.
Just giving you credit where it's due, Justin.
Justin, be quiet or
I'll
start eating a steak again. Yes, thank you guys so much for having me on. Obviously, it's not subtle news that I've been very vocal, especially with issues in the immediate Pittsburgh area, but not discrediting anything going on, obviously, in the West Virginia territory, as well as leaking into Ohio. Because unfortunately, with situations like this, it's everywhere. It's just we're starting to see it bubble to the surface and people saying enough.
Exactly. And I'm glad to see that the women are finally speaking up and speaking out about these people. Some of these guys have been around for 26 years, and it's been the same behavior time after time after time. And anytime that we tried to speak out, we were told to shut up or we would lose our spot. I'm going to go to Missy, whose name has been brought up a lot recently as well. Missy, you want to tell a little bit about your experiences lately?
My experience is different from that of Honeybadger or some of the other girls in the ring, because I've been working backstage. I'm in that back office. So it's interesting because my experience is watching and seeing what's going on. And a company that I did work for, they had a situation that girls were making complaints and it was being pushed under the rug, which isn't right. So we were working desperately to try to fight that sort of aspect of things in an effort to make it a better locker room for the women. And I'm hoping that going forward with Fight Underground, we're able to make that a better experience for the women and be able to bring in awesome talent that pretty much has written off part of the Pittsburgh area because of its history.
Yeah, I know that there's just been so many women that need to speak out and tell what's been going on about everything. And like you said, if we tried, it was swept under the rug. There was guys, even me at 300 pounds who nobody wanted anything to do with, was still being told by guys she was walking to the ring with, hey, if you do this, I'll help us do this, 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 and this. And well, you know how that worked out. But next, I am going to go to Scarlett, who we normally don't get to hear from that often, but she's making an exception for us tonight.
Hello, everyone. I have been through many things in my young career in this business. It has taken me time to really grasp and understand myself and my place in this business also. Being a woman of color, also being very young and naive, you believe a lot of things and think a lot of things that are okay that are simply just not okay. And I've been through many situations in the locker room with not so much workers, with higher management, I'll say, and a place that I no longer reside. It's hard for me to talk about this, but I think it's the time to talk about it. And I just thank everyone for listening.
Thank you, Scarlett. And you are right, it is time to start talking. You and I, the same person, I couldn't even go to that person because he didn't care. He didn't like me, didn't give it. It got swept under the rug. Didn't even bother anymore. I'm going to go to someone who is not part of the Fight Underground Virago division yet. Joseline Navarro, would you like to tell us your experiences? She has to unmute herself.
I got it.
Okay, there we go. We are definitely having problems tonight.
Yeah. I haven't had any experiences personally, but I've had to help other girls go through things, and I'm very protective. I'm a very protective person in general, but especially of the other female wrestlers because at the end of the day we all have a common ground and we all have to stick together because people already don't like women in the business anyway. So they're going to try to take advantage of them as much as possible, and especially the girls that aren't as outspoken as I am, the ones that are more shy and more reserved, they're definitely going to try to take advantage of them. And I've seen people try to do it, and I don't allow it at all. So for any of the girls that's here or watching or whatever, anytime you are in a locker room with me and somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, let me know because I'm going to be on their ass. Like, I don't care about losing bookings or whatever, but I've never been one to tolerate harassment, bullying, none of that. And that goes into wrestling as well.
I have to agree. If same thing goes for me, if I am there and anybody experience anything you're uncomfortable with, come find me. After 25 years, I don't care who I piss off by knocking them out. The next person I'm going to go to is someone who is in our background a little bit, but she is a vital part of the fight underground, Ms. Marina. I know you've had a couple things happen you might want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen both sides to it. I've been, in the background, but I've also had issues, even just ring announcing where I've been told I'm too fat or I'm not pretty enough or I don't have a certain look or what have you. I think the most important thing is just everybody sticking together and just continue to advocate for one another. I mean, like Badger, she's such a voice right now, and I just think it's phenomenal. Um, and anybody else who's been, just strong enough to share their story, like that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're going to throw it to Charlie Kruel, who is also joining us tonight. Charlie, do you have anything that you want to add here?
Yeah. So I've dealt with a lot of stuff in the business already. Being really young, I dealt with someone who, I'm not going to say names, of course, they don't deserve a platform, but they are canceled in the business, like they're not here anymore. Thankfully, that's probably the best thing that has ever happened with me in my career so far, is that guy is no longer taking advantage of me or my well-being or my mental state or anything. But he managed me for a very long time, and I met him when I was only 18 years old, and he really messed up my head, and he turned everybody against me and made me, for my first year in wrestling, made me feel like I wasn't good enough. He went around telling people, about my ass or this and that, and for a long time, he turned so many people against me that I thought that he was my only friend in the business, and I only listened to him. Don't know why I did, but I was very naive. I was very gullible, and he knew that. And of course, as everybody knows, I do deal with autism, and he knew that, and that was another thing he took advantage of. Not only that, but I deal with depression and all this other stuff, and he knew that, and he took advantage of that. Even when, back in January, when everybody, first started coming out about him, I didn't come out about him then. I was still scared to, I still cut ties with him, but I was just scared to tell my story, and I wasn't ready. And then when the hashtag Speak Out movement started, I felt confident enough to open about my story and what he's done to me and how he made me feel. He ruined my first year of wrestling pretty much. I mean, it was he really got me heat everywhere. Heat I didn't even know I was having. I didn't understand it. I didn't even know what heat was at first. He had to explain it to me. I didn't know why I was getting it. I didn't know what I was doing. It turns out that he was putting everybody against me. There's another guy who I don't even think the wrestling company works anymore, but I remember him telling a wrestler backstage in front of me that the only reason he booked me was because I have a good ass. There's been guys in wrestling that tried to sleep with me. There was one guy in wrestling that wanted me to go out to his car and do stuff with him in the parking lot of the area I was working in at that time. There's been guys who said all I'm good for is ass. It's very upsetting for me because wrestling is my go-to. It's all I have. I don't have anything else. I mean, I have my family, my boyfriend, my dog and everything, but wrestling is the main source. Wrestling is the reason we are actually together, and it's everything to me. So for people to be or for a guy to be oh, we only like to watch her because she has a good ass or whatever, it's really messed up. because I don't feel like I'm just ass. I feel like I have a good character. I feel like I have a good personality, and I feel like I am doing really well in wrestling compared to what other people may think or see of me. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Charlie. I think there's been a guy who has ruined wrestling a little bit for all of us women in some way or another. Last but not least, I think Big Bang Roni Nicole was with us. I don't know if she still is. Okay, well, Ronnie's not coming on right now.
Ronnie's on. I'm here.
Oh, there we go. I'm giving up with this tonight, seriously. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I just, I don't know, because Bonnie, I am of you, well, not of you in terms of experience. You know, I only have 8.5 years going into 9 years in the business. But when I got into the business, I was pretty much told, you know, this is how it's going to be. This is part of the game. This is what you look out for, but it's going to happen. And it was almost as if we were being conditioned to think that that was okay and to think that those types of behavior were normal. There's one instance I can remember where I trained where another wrestler brought a semi-professional football player to training to pretty much show him that wrestling was harder, because apparently he had been having a lot of conversations about how wrestling wasn't hard and it wasn't really a sport and this and that and the third. And so this other wrestler thought it would be a good idea to bring him to training. And I had only been training at this facility for about 2 months. I had switched from one facility to this one. And in all my time there, it had only been myself and the trainers and the other students, but this time there were 15 other adults there, grown men who were wrestlers from the area, who just happened to have an interest in training that day. And the first thing they did was put him in the corner and cave his chest in. And I just remember being the only female in a room full of 22 men, feeling terrified that this guy was going to die. And there was honestly nothing I could do at that moment against these grown giant men to stop this, but really considering, is this what I wanted to be a part of? And I remember afterwards, I was very uncomfortable. And one of my trainers, well, the man who owned the training school, was like, this is just a part of the business, kid. You know, people talk shit about wrestling. This is what happens. We take care of our own. We deal with it in house, blah, 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 blah. And I just remember being like, oh, okay, cool. So like, from the beginning, it was almost as if I was groomed during constantly into this way of thinking that abuse is going to happen, you deal with it. Assault is going to happen, you deal with it. People are going to take your money, or either you're not going to get a lot of money because you're new, so you only deserve a hot dog and a handshake anyway. Like, all of this is the stuff that veterans are telling me as I come into what is supposed to be the business, you know, that I dreamed about. And now, years down the road, I realized that the struggles that I personally had was because I didn't gel with that shit. Like, you can't go into any other industry and behave in some of the ways that people who claim to be professional wrestlers do. And I've always thought that if we are professional wrestlers and if it's professional wrestling business, then we should all conduct ourselves as such. There are a lot of people who, for a long time, not only in y'all's area, but in my area down here in North Carolina, who have used the business to further some glorified dream that they had, when the truth of the matter is they should have hung it up and maybe worried about personal responsibility or financial responsibility or going to school or doing something to put more good out into the world instead of putting toxicity into professional wrestling. I'm really happy that wrestling is almost being burned to the ground right now, because something that you love cannot live if it's poisoned. Something cannot grow if at its heart a lot of evil and a lot of darkness has seeped throughout the business for years. So what are we going to do? Just chop off that part and continue to let the root be be rotten. No, this is a rebirth, not only in wrestling, but in the world. 2020 has revealed to us a lot of change is coming, and no one is immune to that. And wrestling, it's time. It's been time. Because if this is something that we all claim to love, because if this is a professional business, then we have to be the ones who uphold that. And being of that weird in between, some people who've wrestled less than years than me think I'm a vet. I don't consider myself a vet only because I'm still learning about this business that we love. But if I am going to consider it a vet, it's my job and my duty. Every time I go, every time I have an interaction, anytime I'm trying to put something out there as it concerns this business, it's got to be better than what I was taught, because I was taught a lot of fucked up stuff. I was taught a lot of things that are not acceptable and it was literally just because I was raised differently that I did differently, because I know people who I trained with who were taught the same things and they just kept perpetuating these negative things, but that's what the vets told us. So how much can you blame people for perpetuating bad stuff if people are protecting it and telling you it's okay and it's acceptable? So when you have the wrestlers who come along and want to change that, that's what's happening now. We've gotten to a point where the business was so polluted that it no longer can sustain that. And so now it's seeping out, and everything from this point forward is going to create the business that we've always wanted it to be. Because I've seen a lot of stuff on social media, like wrestling is so bad, and I'm sad to see wrestling's dying, and wrestling. No, it's not wrestling. It is the people in wrestling that have poisoned what wrestling was supposed to be. What we do is an art and a gift. We are connected through a living oral history of wrestling that connects us from the ancients to now. What we do has so much significance in the lives of the people that watch us perform and in our own lives that it cannot be the problem that we have, and it isn't. It's the people who have had bad intentions. It is the people who have demons that they haven't felt the need to exercise before they get into a very chaotic industry. You cannot expect to be an artist and not deal with those demons, because what we do is art. But we have to be responsible artists and understand that taking advantage of people, assaulting people, treating people as if they are just commodities and not actual human beings, that comes with us. And that starts with us making the choices. I know that recently something happened where there was a time for people to be able to do that, and there were a lot of people who didn't. And we're not saying anyone's name, and we're not going to say where this was, but those are the moments that people have to stand up. You cannot stand by and say, oh, I'm not going to do this, and then turn around and do it. You can't say I'm not going to share a locker room with someone knowing that they are improper, and then you turn around and take that payday. You cannot have your cake and eat it too. Either you're standing for the morals of changing this business and you want it to be better, or you don't. And if you don't, that's fine. No one is going to judge you for making different decisions. But you cannot walk around and tote on social media, oh, I'm for the change in the business. I want to protect the women in the business. I want to protect the young people who are being, taken advantage of, and then turn around and do the same thing that people have been doing the whole time. No, the time for hypocrisy is over. 2020 is revealing to us that we no longer can continue to live by the same standards we have in any sense of the word. So the homophobia, the racism, the prejudice, the sexism, all the negative things that have made this business, in some ways, the darkness that everyone knows about, why we have Dark Side of the Ring, why my own mother never wanted me to be a wrestler, because she knew about this evil, not even knowing about the business. This is the time where all that shit's going to stop. And we are the ones who are going to lead that change. And Bonnie, I have to extend an apology to you and Badger and all the women who had to deal with so much bullshit, because you shouldn't have had to. No one should have to feel taken advantage of. No one should have ever had to feel like their dream was being used and weaponized against them. Not a single fucking person should hold your dream hostage to make you do something. That's what a pimp does. And nobody should be pimped in this business, period. And for anybody who thinks it's okay to do that and to run around and lie and manipulate people so you can make your own pockets fat, I don't have to deal with you because 2020 will. And nobody else will have to deal with you because none of us are going to work with you. None of us are going to come to your shows or support your product because we're tired of being treated just like pieces of meat. We have lives. We are people. Everyone in this business puts their heart and soul into what they do, and to take advantage of that is fucking criminal. And so from here on out, things will change, and I do have hope, but it always gets better before it gets worse. And we have to make sure we leach all the poison out of the business. People have to keep speaking out. They have to talk about those instances where trainers were inappropriate. They have to talk about those people in the business, even if they're veterans and they're famous. Fuck that noise. Just because you're a great wrestler doesn't mean you're a good person. And just because you have the spotlight on you doesn't mean you deserve to have that spotlight on you, especially if you're doing dirty behind the scenes. Nobody's perfect. I've done my share of fucking dirt. My 20s was chaotic as hell. I'm still making up for that shit. But at the end of the day, every day, I try to wake up and put one foot in front of the other and do better. And if that is not what you're about, then you don't deserve to have a gift like wrestling be a part of your life. And you also don't deserve to be an emblem to others who like to share that gift. Because that's bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, how can you stand up here and say that, you know, you're babyface and you fight for the underdog, and then you have all this dirty, weird stuff going on behind the scenes? Like, what? No. Get your life. Everyone has to be accountable for who they are. No one's saying you have to be perfect, but you do have to have common sense. And for the first time ever, I think everyone in wrestling is waking up to see that we no longer have to sit by where people who don't have common sense are in charge. That the people who really love this business, that really love to entertain and put hope in the world, and to see how people react when you perform, to know that you had a small part in changing that person's day and that person's life, because life is hard, that is what we're aiming for. And those are the people who are going to stick around, and that is what the business is going to be built on. And also, I'm sorry, I got on the soapbox and just did monologue. My bad.
No, well
No,
said,
that is
Roni.
exactly what we wanted. That is exactly what we wanted to hear. Very well. And I got to say that I am to be joined on the council by men like Quinn and Paul and Brandon and Justin and Big, who I know will stick up for us, ladies, who will fight for us. We've already seen the canceling of one person from the council because of it. We will keep doing it if necessary. I have nothing but love for these guys. I am blessed to be a part of the council with them. Ladies, we are in good hands with these guys. Have no fear. Things are going to be different, at least here in the Fight Underground. This is where it's going to start. Brandon, you want to take it home?
Sorry, muted. Yeah, thank you, Stacy, for bringing us that segment. Thank you, ladies, for coming on and speaking your mind. It's very, very much appreciated. And that's it. That's all we have for this week. We will be back next week, 8 o'clock for Inside Out. This Thursday is the next council meeting, 8 o'clock as well. You can see that on Facebook Live. And if you haven't yet, go to our social media at FU Throwdown, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Fight_Underground for TikTok. If you missed something on social media, check out the YouTube, and we will see everyone this Thursday, 8 o'clock.